I turned my struggles into art instead of escaping from them. When I did this, I stopped focusing just on the music and what I thought my art and content needed to be. And I started creating a whole giant universe, a superhero saga, a massive series with different dimensions, shadow worlds, anti-heroes, and massive character arcs. With music connected to the story and enough ideas and story planned out for me to be working on this for over the next 10 years. At first, before I really started getting into the story, I thought I was just making something entertaining. Action scenes and massive transformations, emotional moments. Then I realized something I wanted to fully lean into. Every major emotional moment in the story came from an actual literal experience in my real life. Real fears, real mistakes, real struggles and turning points, actual people that inspired me, helped me along the way, or challenged me. Moments that shaped me as a person. And moments that Z-Man goes through, Z-Man the Vegan in the story, comes from things I genuinely experienced or struggled with in real life. A fear of becoming bitter and losing myself. The feeling of isolation. Trying to hold on to imagination, passion, and meaning while working jobs that drain a lot from me. A lot of that is real, but then later I turn those actual experiences into a story. And it stops being about literal people. That part is important. They're fictional characters in a fictional world I've written. I rewrite and transform those experiences into mythology and symbolism and exaggerate fantasy. So someone who impacts my life might turn into an entirely different fictional character inside the story. Also, just to respect people and their actual identities and stuff. A painful chapter of life becomes a giant shadow arc. A breakdown becomes a transformation sequence. A real emotional sequence becomes this huge battle between light and darkness. I think this is why the story feels emotionally real to me, because under all the fantasy stuff, the emotions actually happen. And I think that's also why I keep growing this universe, because real life keeps happening to me. And I keep getting inspired on how it can shape the story. I keep changing, I keep learning things, I keep confronting parts of myself I used to completely avoid. And instead of hiding those insecurities, those faults, I start putting them into the story. But I also started putting growth in the story too. Ways I learned to handle things better, mature, and recover or evolve through certain mindsets. Almost like different characters represent a different emotional path someone can take. Z-Man is a part of me that wants to keep going in the light completely. Crazy Man, the anti-hero, dark side of him, is the part that breaks and is reckless, still pursues justice, but with an unstable mind and does crazy things. And the reason those characters feel real to me is because the emotions beneath them and what they represent as different dimensions inside myself are real to me. A bad shift at work becomes part of the shadow corruption arc. A live stream in the woods starts feeling like some preparation for a giant battle. And maybe that sounds ridiculous, but it seemed to help me process life in a healthier way and actually grow more, see myself from the outside rather than from the first person perspective all the time, feeling overwhelmed. Because of pretending I don't have insecurities or hiding faults, I start asking, what would growth actually look like if it became part of the story? I think a lot of people use entertainment to escape reality. I do that at times too. And even a part of this could be that. But somewhere along the way, I realized I was doing something deeper than just that. I started transforming reality into art. Not because life became easy. Definitely not that. Because if pain and experience that isn't pleasant can make music and stories or something meaningful that reaches another person, then maybe it did not disappear into nothing. Maybe it became more than just something useful. And the weird thing is, the more honest I actually get about my real life, the more real the superhero universe and series starts to feel. Because underneath all the powers, the giant lore, and the monsters, the story is still about very human things. Fear, identity, purpose, hope. Try not to lose yourself. I used to think art was mainly about escaping reality and embracing that. Now I'm starting to believe art can be something to directly face reality head on and transform it into something meaningful for the well-being of everyone around you. Even if I still have to work at a day job for years, I'm still struggling, still slowly building this universe. Even if it takes years, even if people never fully understand it, it's worth it to me. The superhero series is not separate from my life. It is my life emotionally translated into mythology, but not just my life, not just my story. The story of Earth and people, and a lot of people I meet along the way, and how we grow, how we evolve. It's about being bigger than just one hero, one worldview, one person. And it's told through my perspective and my artist lens. But I love doing it. I love creating it. And it feels like it's closer to my heart now that it's well, I mean, I've done this with music before, but with actual story, literally looking at myself and dealing with things and thinking of how to grow from it. It's helped. It's beautiful, and I love to do it. Thank you for watching. Check out season 1. It is out right now on my channel. There's a whole playlist of it. The Adventures of ZmanTheVegan. I already wrote season 2. I got episode 1 done, and I'm working on season 3 now, actually writing out each episode. I already have more than that written, like beyond 7 seasons, the actual general idea and arcs and everything. But I'm taking my time to actually write out each episode and keep everything consistent, and it gets a lot better from season 1. Season 1 is pretty rough because it was my very first time making this, but I'm glad I did it. I know the narration and the images and everything, and it's not the best pacing, but I'm excited to keep going and get better. And what keeps me going is how interconnected it is to realness. Alrighty, leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching. For the animals, woo!